Hi and welcome to this latest video on the Power channel. I thought I'd get around finally to repairing this Makita drill. I've had this for donkey's years. In fact, I can't remember how old it is, maybe 15, 20 years old. Anyway, it's done sterling service. In fact, it's had too many hot suppers and we have a bit of a problem. Not only is that obviously very slow, there is this not so much smoke now, but gee, the smell is not good. Anyway, so look, from the part number of this drill, which is a Ep44. I just purchased a new motor in the cross fingers, hope that it actually is the repair that I need to do. So let's get into this quickly. It shouldn't take too long, but mind you, I always say that with repairs. Let's get into a simple clamshell, I think. So yeah, there we have 8 screws, all the same length, which is good. Nice and easy. Hopefully this just will allow me, to pry this apart somehow. Here we go. Oh, no, 9 screws, sorry. 8, 9, we'll check them later. Okay, yeah, that motor's a little bit warm, even though I just used it for a few seconds. It's looking a bit dirty in here. Let's see how this all comes out. Oh, here we go, there's the switch and the changing direction mechanism. That's nice and simple. We've got this gearbox at the front here. Okay, and oh, looks like some springy things here. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, just be careful when you're taking this apart. It looks like, yeah, there's 2 springs in the 2-speed gearbox changing lever. And that comes out of there. What have we got here? Ooh, another little spring. Better be careful with that one. What that's for. Ooh. Okay, motor and gearbox. Oh, here we go. So hopefully the gearbox is okay. I don't intend doing anything with that. But here we have the motor. Looks like it's all soldered in place. So a little protective dust cap over the back bearing there. Bearing, I'm calling it. Maybe it's just a, it is a bearing, but maybe it's just a plain bearing. Let's have a look at the one I purchased and see whether it's all okay. So yeah, I ordered this months ago. But been doing all sorts of other repairs and all sorts of other work, but no time to do this. Here we go. That's looking uncommonly similar. And with the 2, this is a brushed motor. Apparently the brush motor doesn't have any adjustment or replacement by the looks of it on those brushes, but that's okay. In fact, that may be what's actually failed after all these years, who knows. It looks like I need to retrieve this plastic front off the motor, which should be okay if it's just those 2.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So I've cleaned up the 2 clamshells just with a bit of spray IPA. Also given this a bit of a wipe down, but yeah, no IPA in there, you might as well leave all the grease in. I'm just looking at the front end of this motor and trying to work out whether, and I think this plastic piece may be not entirely symmetrical, although I can see some elements that are symmetrical, but maybe that tab there is not symmetrical over here. So I think I'll try and put that back on in the same orientation, and then that will allow me just to give the switch and the battery plate a bit of a clean up. So yeah, I'll get that desoldered. Let's get this off the front end here. Yep, that comes off nice and easily. In fact, a little bit too easily. I wonder if that was tight at all. That's okay. Maybe it doesn't need to be super tight, but that's off in one piece. Yeah, look, I think I'll give that a good clean up, but then put that back in position in the same orientation. Okay, that's pretty much everything cleaned up and ready to go. Got the new motor here, got the red tab for the red wire, and I've tried to remember which way around this goes. We'll soon find out when we try and put it back together. Let's pop these two screws in place. I think there's a little, a couple of washers on there. There's one a little wavy washer, not too sure. Let's give them a little bit of a nip, but nothing ridiculous. And I'll get this soldered back together and we'll reassemble. Okay, here we go. I just resoldered these two joints, decided to put a little bit of heat shrink on that one, not too sure why. In fact, I couldn't get a piece of heat shrink to really stick over that one. But I wonder if, can we test this outside of the shell, I wonder? How does this go? How do we make sure it's the right way around? I don't think you can get it wrong, can you? No, there we go. Let's just try this. Okay. That looks a lot better to me, so hopefully we've got a good repair. Let me just extricate this from that battery and we'll see if we can't get this reassembled somehow. So, how was this? Oh, little dust cap on the back of the bearing. It's a bit loose, is that? Loosey-goosey. And we've got this little spring to contend with. I'm not entirely sure what that does. This is the detent on the top for the gearbox switch. So, how does this go? Oh, that looks like that goes in there like so. I think this will have to slot in somehow. And this looks... oh no, this isn't symmetrical either. Which is the back and which is the front? Let's try this way. Okay. Breathe deeply. And that's sort of in. The battery died on the camera then, so I just had to plug it in. It gave me a little bit of an opportunity just to check this spring here, which seems to have a little plastic, an indent in the plastic there, which I think is obviously there to give you some positive feedback to the adjustment of the hammer action or the torque setting. So I think that was in there with the detent facing inwards. We'll continue feeding this wire in, red first, black second, I think. Switch goes yonder. Oh, we've got the changeover mechanism. That must go something like that. Yeah. I think I'm just not entirely convinced everything is quite in. Yeah, that spring is going to have to go in last. I think that is home. Maybe what I will do before putting the spring in, I'm just wondering if this clamshell is going to present a problem or the bottom is in nicely. Houston, we have a problem with the top, and it does look like it is just a little bit like it needs a good jiggle somehow. I think that is in better now. Let's try it with the spring. Just very gently. Oh, there we go. All of a sudden it just clamped shut. That's looking good. I think I'm going to just that looks like we have a clamshell which is together and happy. Let me just quickly get in a couple of these screws. Maybe one there, one there. Like, how many do you need to make this screwdriver or this driver work? I think I'll go with 3. And then we'll have a look. Let's try it out. Oh, it's locked. That's looking a lot. I think that's a repair. Let me just finish off with all the other screws. So what do we have in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There was 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9, sorry. Can't count. Let's see. So there we have it. Yeah, the drill is working again. A fairly simple repair, just consisting of removing the casing, replacing the motor. Everything seems to be okay. Forwards, backwards, and everywhere in between. Even the gearbox seems to be okay. So is this going to be good for another 20 years? I don't know. I'm not too sure whether I'm good for another 20 years, but there we have it. Angry Pix is well and truly back inside this drill driver. See you later. Bye.